All right, it is 6:31 p.m., Thursday, November 7th. I'm going to call the meeting of the River Plantation Municipal Utility District Board of Directors to order. Okay. First item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Directors of October 10th, 2024. Any questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to approve them?
I make a motion we approve last meeting's minutes.
Do I have a second?
No second.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, receive comments from the public. Well, we have one member of the public here, and he says no, he doesn't want to have any comments. So,
Can I change that for a minute?
sure.
It's kind of an interest I have. I understand there's a guy on Stone Mountain has all those cars, and he had a fence line, and then they need to work the utility easement, and they took the fence down on his side, and they took the fence down on the other side, put the fence up for the neighbor. This is the people that did the utility easement, but left this guy with all those cars, they left his fence down. So what's he do with the utility easement? Takes his equipment, his cars and whatever, and puts it out there on that, which is basically outside his property line, I would assume. So the question is, the person that mentioned this to me had concerns about that. How can you do that, and what can be done about it, and all that. And so that'd be the question of interest I have. Plus, easements is an interesting topic.
So the easements for storm sewer, sanitary, utility, and things of that nature are access and being able to do the work. We don't actually own the above surface property. It's still part of the residents and they can do what they want. Now, they're not allowed to put any sort of like fixed item on there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to build a structure or something like that, we would be within our rights to remove it. Should we have to access that property to make a repair? But as far as the way we kind of utilize easements in that regard is there's still a resident's property. They have full access to do what they wish with it. We just have guaranteed access to that storm sewer should we need to.
Yeah, well,
do
obviously you'd be
anything
out there
to
with
it.
forklift.
Now, as far as putting up and taking down fences, the only fence that was there to begin with was the wood one, and we restored that.
Oh, yeah, that's what other stuff was.
His metal fence was in the back, and we did not touch that one.
Oh, okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, financial and bookkeeping matters.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see y'all again. Y'all should all have a bookkeeping report in front of you. From your last meeting, your general operating fund left off at $80,830.72. We did add in one voided check to All Seasons Lawn. We made a transfer from your general operating online account and your general operating Texas Class account. We processed payroll taxes from your previous meeting as well as had some bank charges and fees. Under your checks previously approved, we had utility expense, a check to Gary Basinger for the roof cleaning, your new meeting chairs, lawn services, the installation of gutters and downspouts. We are still holding one check to Centerpoint for your utility expense, your telephone expenses, your September billing for joint drainage and your STP fund, your director fees for the year-end 2024, pavement and drain repairs, operations, and your insurance renewal. For your approval this evening, we have your lawn services, sludge removal, a check to LNS for your bookkeeping fees and expenses for October, also a check to municipal accounts for bookkeeping fees and expenses for January 8th through March 10th, 2024. A check to MOC for your maintenance and operations for September and October. Legal fees, surveillance, sewer permit fees. Another check for Radich Law Firm for legal fees. Emergency alert system. A check to Vogler and Spencer Engineering, and we have split up all the different projects that they're working on that. Followed by a few refunds and some blank checks for invoices in between meetings. After those disbursements, it leaves your ending balance at $63,609.96. That next page is your general operating online fund. Your accounts receivable came in at $81,798.07. We made that transfer to your general operating fund. You had a few customer returned NSF items and some bank service charges. After those disbursements, it leaves your total operating funds, including your investment account, at $809,256.72. Below that is your tax deposit account. Your tax collections came in at $17,822.95. You had some interest in bank service charges, leaving that account at $88,618.25. That next page is your capital projects fund. We made a transfer from your capital projects Texas class account. You had some bank charges. For your approval this evening, we have a check to C3 Constructors for your wastewater treatment facility rehab pay estimate 3. Sanitary sewer rehab phase 2 pay estimate 2. A check to Vogler and Spencer Engineering, and those different projects are split up. A check to your joint drainage for Holly Springs storm sewer rehab and your WWTF rehab phase 1. After these disbursements, including your investment account, leaves your total capital projects funds at $2,153,236.14. Below that is your debt service fund. You earn some interest, and that account is at $388,047.26. Below that is your debt service park. You earn some interest in there as well, leaving that account at $5,521.38. Next page, we have your sewer treatment plant. Your accounts receivable in that account was $19,888.05, and you had some bank service charges. We issued one check in between meetings for utility expenses, and we are still holding one check for garbage expense. For your approval this evening, we have a check for sludge removal, bookkeeping fees and expenses for October, a check to municipal accounts for bookkeeping fees for January 8th through March 10th, your MOC maintenance and operations, a check to Republic for garbage expenses, Vogler and Spencer for engineering, and one blank check to Entergy. On that next page, we have your joint drainage fund. Your accounts receivable in this account came in at $7,080.34. You had some bank charges, and we issued one check for utility expenses in between meetings. For your approval this evening, we have bank fees and expenses for October, a check to municipal accounts for bookkeeping fees and expenses, again, January through March, a check to Vogler and Spencer Engineering, and a blank check for your utility expenses. That next page is your September P&L. We are showing you September again because it's just not far enough into November to really have any activity for October. Hasn't really been any changes on this since the last month, and the next month y'all will see more activity going on in there.
Going back on these accounts that have the negative balance,
Mhm.
does that increase our bank charges?
No, it's showing negative now, but whenever we get the documents back and put those checks that are going into that account, the account is never actually negative.
Because they're sitting here. No.
Yeah, you won't get any extra bank fees or anything like that. We don't send those checks out until we put the deposits into that account.
Great.
So it's never truly going to be negative. And then the last two pages are your zeroed out joint drainage and STP P&Ls for September. And that's all I have for y'all, unless you have any questions for me.
One question, the budget's on here, that's before you did the reallocation on accounts, right? I mean, the numbers just don't look right like they are with that budget.
It's
Right?
taking part of last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it just doesn't look right.
So that first column is going to be all the expenses that hit those codes in September. That second column is gonna be everything for your fiscal year so far, so
Right.
October 2023 to September 2024. And then that last one is y'all's approved budget, the actual approved budget for this fiscal year.
And I think what he's talking about is we had a budget done and then
Okay.
some of it went back in there because of different things, was
Mhm.
reallocated to different accounts. And I
I
don't know that the budget moved with it.
Yeah, I would have to talk to Tiffany about that. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I can check with her and make sure that if it wasn't changed, it gets changed to what is,
It's
it
never,
should
it's
be.
never looked that big a disparity before, that's the reason I was asking the question.
And that just has to do with, some of the, let's see, the, repairs and maintenance for water expenses and some things that are a little over budget, but y'all still have, I mean, a quite healthy, general operating fund, so it's nothing really to worry about right now.
No,
Okay. Any questions on tax assessor collector's report, the investments? Do we know what tax pool's paying? Are they still right about 4.5, 5?
Tax class I know is 5.0420,
Okay.
and tax pool is usually right around that. I don't know tax pools off the top of my head,
No,
but most of
that's-
them,
that's
they're,
cool.
yeah, they're
That's
both right next to each
Okay.
other.
All right, so do I have a motion to approve the bookkeeper's report, the tax assessor collector's report, the investments, and payment of the district's bills?
I'll make a motion, we accept the financial report, bookkeeper's report, tax assessor report, review of investments, and the payment of district bills.
Do I have a second?
Second?
yeah, he's
Would you have a question?
No,
Oh.
I was gonna say second, but he beat
Okay,
me to it.
second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, number 4, violation of district rules, public hearing for violation of district rules and damage to district property and assessment of penalties.
We don't have any of those. I do want to have an update for y'all in the executive session on a couple of the pending ones.
Okay, all right. Number 5, park maintenance matters. Any questions? I'm gonna let Mario talk about the doggy poop stations tomorrow, things like that.
We also had, well, just so everybody knows, we had a couple of signs that disappeared over
Yeah.
on Silo. The Park Rural signs were on either side of the road.
Yeah,
Looks like kids just unbolted them and took them home. So we gotta figure out how to replace them, as Judy,
but there's a couple of typos on there we need fixed before
but
we
we
replace them.
don't have
Yeah.
to replace all of them.
No,
No,
Just
just the
them.
ones that are missing. Yep. Okay. Anything else on park maintenance matters?
trying to think.
Oh, did you find out, Taylor, about the sprinkler deal?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, so this was a miscommunication on my part. I thought I had told them to hand operate it because of the electrical power outage.
Okay,
They have been hand operating it, and they're gonna run power from the lift station to the, to the line to bring it off of ours so that we know where the power's being pulled off.
okay,
So, that's, I take responsibility for
Okay.
that. I thought I had relayed to them that they need to be operating it by hand.
okay.
Now, is that gonna be for all 9 holes? And the reason I ask is because last week, one day, up at the front, there was only one sprinkler that was on, and there was a worker
Mhm.
with a shovel doing something there.
Yeah, they had several holes that were, or sprinkler heads that were broken that they were replacing.
Okay.
And so that may have been that process, but the electrical power will power all 9 holes. There's a line that runs through the entire system that is all linked together. So once you power it in one spot, it'll be good all the way across.
Okay.
What's causing them to break? They all were just replaced within the last year.
Correct.
Mowers.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
if
mowers.
mowers are hitting them, you know, if people are
So
going
is
off-road.
is that an issue they weren't installed correctly, or are the mowers cutting too low? What would?
No, I mean, it just depends on what types of mowers they're using, because, you know, the original use were zero-turn golf course mowers. And so if they're using big tractors or bigger mowers or heavier mowers than what those sprinkler heads are used to, they're pretty highly rated, so I'll relay that to them, the concern, and see what they think is going
Yeah,
on.
that, we need to figure out what's causing them to get
Yeah.
broken and fix them. Those things are expensive to keep replacing
Mhm.
for no reason.
I know some of them, like over by Lift Station 1, they were ran over by the energy during the
During
the
this
hurricane.
hurricane.
Yeah,
And they-
you
Yeah.
know, so a few of those
Yeah.
I saw myself. they were
And you
getting ran
can't
over.
tell them to not do it because, I mean, you don't
We
want them
also had all the
getting.
high traffic going up through Mosswood too, so.
Yeah, okay. All right, we gonna park maintenance matters?
I can't think of anything else about the park other than the poop stations, oh, and then the benches.
Oh, yeah, the benches, I talked tomorrow, we'll talk about it during his report.
Okay.
All right, good. All right, next thing on the agenda is operators report.
Okay, all right, good evening, everyone. We have, for the month of October, we have connections at 977 with 40 vacancies. Revenues totaling at 78,640 with 23 cents. Got billed consumption at 11,177,000. For this billing period, we have total gallons pumped at 11,510,000. At 95%, 97% accounted for this month, with 5 leaks repaired in the district. 6 bacteriological samples were taken, all came back good. And our wastewater treatment plant numbers is what was reported to the state, no excursions or breaches. And the sewer plant is currently operating 44% of its permit capacity. Have a little over 6 million gallons of reuse water with total revenue of $2,606.90. Below that, we have our age receivables, consumption, and accountability report down below. I do not have a DMR because it's early in the month.
Right.
We haven't submitted, but our numbers look good.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is LCRR?
LCRR is lead and copper rural improvement.
Oh, that's,
Mhm.
okay. Okay, got it. Okay.
Poop stations are in the back of my truck. They should be installed tomorrow or Monday. We got the locations for those, and then I'm waiting on the 2 locations for the benches. The contractor's already been aware and is ready to place the order as soon as we tell them where to go.
Where the poop station's gonna go?
From what I remember us talking about last month, we were talking about the backside of Raleigh, kind of Ravensworth, where that trampoline was at. And then the other one was by the old restroom that we demolished.
Okay.
Those 2.
Okay,
I mean, if we're all on the same page, that's the locations I got last month.
I agree.
Yep.
Okay.
How are they gonna, the one down by the restrooms, is that flood? Are they just gonna, where they just put them in the ground?
They're
or are
post
they
hole and then post hole day and then
Concrete?
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
I have a question on that open storm sewer that I sent you a picture of.
Yeah.
When is that gonna be reset?
That I have no idea, but I do have the backhoe in the area tomorrow. I
Okay.
got a job going down, just down the road from here, so.
Now, there's a lot of little kids in that area now.
I wonder how they moved it in.
Huh?
There's no way they moved that by hand.
It looks
No,
like,
it looks
like a car
somebody
hit
hit it.
I think somebody in a small black sedan hit it. If you look, there's 2 black marks
Mhm.
down toward the bottom part of it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I think they went off the road and just pushed it over, is
Yeah.
all I can figure out.
Yeah, I do have, I have a machine excavator, it's gonna be in the area tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll have to come by here and reset that.
On the benches, we need to decide the
Plaque.
standardized language for the plaque and where it's going. About a week ago, I saw a bench where somebody had donated, and I hadn't thought about this. It's actually in the concrete just underneath the bench,
Oh,
as
good
opposed to
point, yeah.
being
On the
mounted
bench.
on the bench. And I took a picture of it. I actually meant to print it off and show it to y'all. I can show it to you on my phone.
Where is this bench going?
Oh, I know where mine's going.
Huh?
I know where mine's going.
Well, isn't that the one they're putting in?
They're gonna order 2
Oh.
in case we get somebody else, but, yeah.
Have we posted that online
No,
yet
not yet.
officially?
No, because we never have cleared it. You wanted to settle on the
clear
number.
tonight.
I thought we decided last time what model we were going with, and now,
Yeah, I
but
think that was
meant
decided. We just hadn't
We
decided on
hadn't
the
put
plaque and where
anything
it's
on the
going.
website, is what I'm
Right.
saying.
Okay. Do you remember what you said those were? How much those were?
We don't need the price on the website, I don't think.
No, ma'am, I do not.
Oh, I think you do.
Well, yeah,
Because that's gonna make it, that's
because
gonna make
we're
people
hoping that they
decide.
will donate that, right,
Yeah.
in memory of, so they would
Because
know.
we're
We
not
don't
gonna
have the prices for anything else.
What?
No, this is for
So
them
you
to
want-
don't, okay, go ahead.
You,
Sorry.
you want them to purchase one, but you're not gonna tell them how much?
No, if they could contact us and we can discuss the price at that point. But I'll put it on there, you guys tell me what it is. Or somebody else can
I
do
think
it
it
out
should be
there.
on there.
I think it should too.
And you add the cost of the installation
Right.
to it, so it's just one flat rate.
Yep.
Right.
So the bench and installation was $720.
It's
That
All
was
right,
720.
so we make it,
So that's just the bench. That doesn't,
Yeah,
that doesn't
include the ply.
include the concrete slab.
Concrete slab. How much is a
Concrete slab.
concrete slab?
It was roughly around the same time. I think for the two.
I thought it was
think
15
It was
something.
1560 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1590.
and then the
but
plaque.
yeah,
15
Yeah.
what?
1590 and then whatever, I don't know how much a plaque would cost. I'll have to
This-
find out.
That's,
Oh, I like that.
it's in the concrete, so there's the bench and there's the
Oh, that's
plaque.
cool. You see that? Okay. You like that?
Yeah.
And it's sitting down there.
Yeah. But
That's
the
cool.
question is, how much would that be then?
I don't know. We'll have to get a trophy place to, is the trophy house still in business here?
I don't know, but I know that Monarch Trophies is open, they're on the Beltway.
Yeah. We used to use them for Little League football.
Are they,
Monarch, yeah,
Yeah.
we used to use
Good
them for
price?
Little League football.
For you,
um,
for the special league.
can somebody, well, let's see.
Yeah.
Somebody called, there used to be a place here in Conroe called Trophy House. I don't know if it's still.
Trophy
there.
House?
It used to be
Okay.
called Trophy House.
All
It
right.
used to be right on the feeder road. Between
There
105 and Gladstone.
was one near the post office too, wasn't there?
Speed Printing is by the post office, but I don't know.
No,
Oh,
no,
you're
no.
right, on that date, what is that street, by the
Dallas?
Mexican restaurant?
Yeah, I think you're right, Dallas.
Yeah, on there.
Okay.
Yeah, West Dallas is where Trophy House is at.
Oh, okay, so they must have moved in, because they used to be on the feeder road.
Okay.
Okay, so if you'll call, can you send him that picture,
Mhm.
or those pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Get an idea of what they want for those.
That looks like it's cast,
I agree.
so it's not something I can just print up in one day.
Well, when you get the
Well, you want
number,
something that's gonna last,
Yeah.
True.
yeah,
you get a number, let me know and I'll put it in here.
okay,
But I'm
and that
not,
way they won't be able
I'll
to
just wait on
buy
this
it.
till I get that too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll send those to you.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Okay, station.
A
I
question
think we're good, yes.
about the poop station, you say you're putting in two?
Mm-hmm. For right now.
For now.
Yeah, I can say that section between the Braxton Bragg and Braxton Bragg, I've seen that area used quite frequently by dogs, because that's a pretty heavy traffic
There's,
area.
yeah, we've got, they're
Anyway,
all
you-
used
just
by
let you know.
dogs.
Yeah.
That was actually there that we first talked about.
We talked about that and then
Anyway,
we
that's all I have.
pushed it on over since we had the old slab on the backside, so.
Yeah,
Get the dogs.
There's a lot of traffic back there, too.
I don't know if they'd wait to get
getting
down there.
owners to
Yeah.
the stations.
I mean, you gotta figure how long, anyway.
You gotta teach the old dog new tricks, you gotta teach the owners, that's right.
And I need to
All
get, I need to get a hold of Alpha and get them to dump that thing every year.
Yes.
We want to start every 2 weeks and see if that's enough, or start every week, or what.
I would say even once a month would be,
May-
well, I don't know, what would it
Maybe-
smell like that?
Maybe,
In the
maybe they
summertime.
should monitor it and let's
Yeah.
determine what's the right.
Well,
Well, the
they
thing
only
is, they
mow
don't
it
come
every-
out, they only come out once a month now to mow,
Yeah.
starting this month, so.
Well,
I'll
and
ask
it's
for
not
2
gonna be
weeks.
hot. It
How about I have, Mike
Run
check,
by
keep an
there.
eye on him since he has to check the lift station all the time, Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
Okay.
And I can let you know, Tim,
Okay,
so, Friday, I guess we'll
Is
keep an eye on
Alpha
it as soon as
doing
we
the
get.
trash cans in, there by,
We don't have any trash cans.
they were
so-
asked,
yes, we do.
Oh,
they were asked
there's
to
one
do that.
left?
I just don't know if they are, I was just asking if
I
you
don't
did.
know.
Okay.
He did a pretty good job of cutting everything else that he was asked to cut. So, I'm hoping he did dump the trash.
Yeah, when I get out, I'll try to look, but I've been swamped
Okay.
myself.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to accept the operator's report?
Make a
Yeah.
motion, we accept the operator's report.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
Thank you.
Engineers report.
All right, guys. The thing to report on the first page is the 2025 permit's underway. That was 180 days from about a month ago, so we're just moving along with that. Moving on to the east ditch, we're still waiting to clean out Mario after the rainstorms and everything. I've got a number to clean that out, so that'll be done here shortly. And then I talked to FEMA, and they just got the funds back released. There was some freeze on because of the federal government or something, so they're dealing with all the backlog, so hopefully see that break loose. For the wastewater treatment rehab, the construction continues. They're working on filling in all the duct bank and conduits. We do have pay application number 3 in the amount of $37,575, and they will also be moving in shortly to replace that building. Holly Springs drainage issue, we're just awaiting a turf establishment. They did throw down some seeds, so that should be wrapping up. The sanitary sewer rehab phase 2, we have pay application number 2 in the amount of $26,398, and then we have a change order for $15,989. That's adding and removing a bunch of items, a bunch of lines that we thought were 8 inches that were called out at 8 inches on the video turned out to be 10 inches or 10 inches and 8 inches. So it happens. We just kind of do a quantity change. We talked about the Charleston Park irrigation and maintenance. The water plant number 2 electrical upgrades, the contractor's finishing up the project. We believe that we'll probably have a substantial completion. I was hoping this week. They had a couple items that came up, so next week. The operator did drain the tanks, and we had them inspected, so once we receive that report, we'll relay that to you guys. Plantation Village drainage improvements, we did receive minor comments back from the county, so we're addressing those and we'll resubmit. For the FEMA awarded the district approximately $24,000. Joey, I know I relayed a different number to you.
Yeah.
We had to reduce it because the window in which they were calling for changed on us.
Okay.
We thought it was the beginning of April. It was actually middle of April, so we missed
Okay.
that earlier time period.
Okay.
For bond application number 10, we're preparing that bond. That amount's actually going to be reduced to closer to $8 million because of the remaining bonding funds you guys have. We'll expend all those. Nothing new on the 10-year CIP. River Plantation Drive sanitary sinkhole issue. So this encompasses 4 different sinkholes. We had 3 people bid. All Team Solutions was the low bidder at $60,300. We hand selected these bidders because they're people we worked with, so all of them were acceptable. Still nothing new on the storm sewer failure for 703 Fairway. And then the last item is lot condemnation. I'll be honest, I think I
Can we talk about that?
I think I thought I attached the exhibit, I didn't, but I can pull it up really easy.
Okay.
But we can talk about that maybe in executive
Yeah.
session or so.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
that's all I have.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, the main items is to approve pay application number 2 and number 3, and then award the low bid to All Team Solutions. All Team Solutions.
Okay.
Do we have the sinkholes on River Plantation down by on number 5? Are those included in there?
These are only sanitary, so this, the one by the,
Oh, okay. No,
yeah, the one by the
these are
tennis
storm
courts.
drain, I think.
Correct. One by the tennis courts, one by the bridge. There's one on Stone Mountain, and I think there's one on Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah.
2 on Stonewall Jackson.
There's just a bunch of them.
Yeah, we got a couple of big ones on that one fairway.
Okay. All right.
You were managing the ditch clean out project as it went along, right? In the past?
Yes.
And we have no one doing that now.
That's what they were waiting for the rainstorms to hit, the rainstorms hit, and so they couldn't get to it last month. They got pricing to do that, so they're gonna be doing it here shortly. And we'll be monitoring it because we need to inspect it all to make
Yep.
sure that.
So as we're getting it cleaned out, we're gonna get with this inspector, so they're gonna inspect all the concrete and stuff.
Yeah.
I did want to touch on the ground storage tank and the HPT, and they're both surprisingly in really good shape. I don't know when was the last time they were taken down.
I mean, I'll say I'm waiting for the report, but the metals looked in really good condition. The paint, not so much, but we can deal with that for the
Yeah.
time being.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're still open, if anybody wants to go early tomorrow, maybe put eyes in, look inside, it's pretty cool to
5
look
a.m.,
into.
is that what you said?
No,
No, no, I said climb in them.
Oh, climb in them.
our guys they're gonna start the button up, back together tomorrow morning. So,
Okay.
just in case you wonder what the inside of those look like.
You're talking about tank number 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both drained. The high pressure tank and the ground storage tank are empty right now and opened.
Okay. All right, anything else? All right, I need a motion to approve pay app number 2, pay app number 3, and approve the bid to All Team Solutions.
Oh, and change order, sorry.
Oh, and change order.
Hey, I have a question about the change order.
Yes, sir.
I know you said you're changing the size of the pipe,
Mhm.
so that justifies a higher price.
So it's a bunch of different items. So if you look at, well, I have the page that looks like this. It kind of goes through the detail of all the different items we're changing over. So there was some relocate unknown pipes that increased to 3 for things being drilled through. Obstruction removals reduced, but a point repairs increased because the obstruction removals turned into point repairs because they couldn't do remote devices to get in there. The 8-inch went down to 10,000. The 15-inch went down to 470. Excuse me. We had some additional length of pipe that we needed for those point repairs. We had some raising manholes, additional manhole rings, and cover adjustments, remove and replace asphalt pavement, so you can look through that. There's quite a few items. 10-inch cured in place pipe, that's where the 599 was added.
Well, my question was gonna be, can't there be a limit on change orders? Because this is like 60% of their initial bid. Because it was what, 25,000, and now we're adding another.
No, that was.
No, this was 700,000. This is the sanitary sewer rehab phase 2.
Maybe
Instead
maybe
of-
that's what I was looking at.
Yes, the pay app was 26,000, that was pay application number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, the entire project's close to 700,000.
Okay.
There's a rule that anything over 25,000, we're required to send it to the TCEQ for approval and things like that, but.
On the change order?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
that makes sense.
And it's all gotta be justified by you guys. If you guys said, no, we don't wanna do this, then we don't do it. I mean, we roll it to the next project. It's just normally more convenient that if they're reasonable items and it's reasonable prices, which these are all just quantity adjustments, so we already had the prices built in. We'll bring a change order to you guys, so we're being completely transparent, rather than
Okay.
just overrunning items, It's a bad way to put it, but with these rehab projects, it's really difficult to capture everything, because we're looking at videos. We're trying to make as many field visits as possible, but sometimes things are just not caught when we're trying to plan out these projects.
Well,
Okay.
it's kind of like remodeling anything. You never
You
know what
really
you're
don't know
gonna
until
get
you start
into
digging
until
in.
you
Yeah, this is,
open it up.
this is the one where we've opened manholes and there's been, blue pipe, which is water line, 4 inches, that's being used as sanitary, things like that. You never know what you're gonna find,
Or the
Okay.
chicken one.
especially in river plantations.
Yes.
And Carl, I sent you those pictures
Yeah.
right before the meeting,
Okay.
if you received them for the update.
Welcome to the meeting.
Yes, I sent you a report, and then I sent you additional pictures, subdivided by
Everybody working, right?
category if you need them.
Walking to the game. Next month, we'll get a truck out there.
If you need anything else, please let me know.
Okay, so did we approve pay up 2, 3, and,
No, we
No.
haven't approved those
Okay.
yet.
and the awarding of the bid
I
contract
butted
to?
in, so,
Oh,
I butted in, so
Oh,
we did approve
okay.
those.
So do I have a motion for the approval of pay up 2, pay up 3, the change order, and approving the change order and awarding the contract to all?
All Team Solutions.
Okay,
I make a motion, we accept pay app 2,
3,
pay app 3, the change order, and
approval to all team
Approval.
solutions?
for Altine's Solutions.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Then
Would
we
you-
have to approve the engineer's report overall.
Yeah. second. You're gonna stick around for executive?
Yes.
business? Okay, all right, then do I have a motion to approve the engineer's report?
Make a motion, we accept the engineer's report.
Okay,
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, communication with consultants and contractors of ongoing projects.
That was a carryover.
Oh.
That was just a miscommunication on our end, so we can
Got it.
jump to 9. So sorry
Okay.
about that.
All right, resolution affirming covered applications and prohibited technology policy.
Okay, I have very bad news. You can no longer have TikTok on
Oh, no.
your district-owned devices.
I saw
So I know you have very few of them, but because you do have devices, you are a governmental entity, you are required to adopt a policy. So I don't think that it is. My assumption is that you don't have TikTok on any of the district-owned or leased devices, but
If we do, we
You know.
probably don't know about it.
that's right. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Just let us know if you have any questions about the policy. It's our resolution, but a policy that was produced by the state in their form. So
Okay. All right. So I'm assuming we have to make a motion to approve it since we had to sign it. So
that's right.
do I have a motion to approve the resolution affirming covered applications and prohibited technology policy?
And I move we accept the application of prohibited technology.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, next thing is executive session.
Can-
And, oh,
May I bring up a couple things first?
sure. Have we talked about it in the past? Otherwise, it's gotta be on the agenda.
I don't know if we've talked about it in the past, we haven't since I've been here, but it was about the timing of receiving packets.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
I think it's because the meeting was so early this month but go ahead. Go ahead.
I got it at 2 something, I hadn't had time to review it, so it's just, we need to, whatever the problem was, let's don't let it happen again, because we need time to actually review it. I work, and so I just saw it come in on email, couldn't do a thing about it.
I
So,
had the
Sure.
same problem. Mine came in an email up that it was stamped about 10,
I was
but
just
I
like
didn't
you
get
this
there till
morning.
11
Yeah,
yeah.
to see it.
Yeah.
So
I had
I
the same problem trying to go through stuff.
I apologize. The nature of packets means that we are, kind of wrangling reports from everyone. And so, that's not to pass any blame, but I know sometimes we're begging for documents.
You
and
can
so
say
maybe-
engineer, it's fine. I would say,
listen, it's everybody, and candidly, we always have, meeting schedule issues in November and December just because of the fourth
when the
Thursday
meeting
stuff.
changes,
So,
it's really hard.
Yeah.
but we'll
Especially for these guys, because they're
we'll
month to month.
yeah we'll do our best, Mark, to get those out sooner and definitely make a note of
I,
that.
I understand the issue when we're trying to make, early meetings, but, might as well have not even received it really, because I didn't even have time to even open it, so now all I have is what's in front of me, for tonight, so.
Completely understand, and we'll, I'll talk to our staff about just setting a cutoff, so at least we'll be able to get you something
some of them.
Right,
yeah.
that's what I was
48
thinking, if
hours.
you had to split it, yeah, okay, thank you.
in advance. Okay, no problem.
Something else or something?
No,
Okay.
since it's not.
Yes.
I forgot to mention, because we talked about it in the beginning, but the customer on Ravensworth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if I can go back just really quick.
Yep.
We have a customer on Ravensworth that had a pretty bad house line leak, 170,000 gallons. They did provide pictures and invoice of the plumber's repair. They are requesting or asking for a leak adjustment. Their total bill was $1,061, and they spent a little bit over $1,000 in plumbing. So,
I'll tell you what my thoughts are, and y'all tell me what your thoughts are. How about we go back and we have a 6-month average on that account? And has it been, has the house been lived in?
Yes.
Okay.
You mean
So they have
pay it out
normal
over 6
usage.
months?
No,
Oh,
go back and like get an average of,
Their normal usage is between 5 and 10,000 a month.
okay, oh,
What,
wow.
what caused the leak, the usage?
So the leak, it just shows that it was a three-quarter inch copper line and fitting that was replaced.
That's amazing.
That had to have been
That was
running
in
for
the
a
house,
long
right?
time.
Mhm.
3/4 inch is big.
I know in the
Oh, I
past
know,
that we've
yeah,
never made any
$100,000.
exception for that. I know my house got flooded one time from a leak inside the house, and they told me to pay it.
My advice
I-
on
I
these
didn't
is
think it
always
was
just,
right, but that's what they told me.
Yeah. What'd you say, Davis?
my advice is always just to be consistent. You know, you will get a lot of these requests.
Have we done,
So.
have we done one? We haven't never done one of these, have
We
we? We've
did-
talked about
we
late
did one.
payments and we did.
We did one on,
For the house on Stone Mountain,
Oh, yeah. What did we do with
an
them?
average.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Over how long a period though?
Well, that was a new one because they didn't even move into that house.
They hadn't even moved in yet, and then the hurricane just
Yeah.
demolished that house.
So I don't know what we did on that one, but, I would say a 6-month average. I mean, so their average is 5 to 10,000 a month and they went to 100,000?
170.
So what's 5 to 10,000 a month? Like 35 bucks,
less
40
than that.
bucks?
Well, you
You got
got
sewer
36
in there.
bucks just for sewer.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be paying $45 a month.
They'll have the cheapest water bills. on
Instead of
earth.
1,000.
Well, not all of us.
I mean,
I do a lot of watering.
I don't know. What do y'all want to do about that?
I'm in agreement with you.
It sounds like a fair one. But now, when do we take that snapshot of 6 months? I mean, because how long has it been?
It should only be 1 month, right?
Correct.
It was only 1 month.
Oh, okay.
So I would do the 6 months prior
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that.
I just didn't want to use
Yeah,
that as part of your
yeah.
average.
If it was several months, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Sorry, I forgot.
No, that's okay. I forgot all about it too, so. But apparently I'm not remembering much
Just
lately.
make a motion on it.
Vote on that.
Yeah, probably need to make a motion on that, so. Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we adjust the bill for the customer on Ravensworth that had the leak, and we adjust their bill accordingly to an average of their past 6 months.
Have a second?
That's it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
No problem. So, all right. Next thing is executive session, and Robert left before I could tell him when the next meeting was. So the next meeting has changed again because of the holidays. December 19th is what we have tentative. Is that still a good date? I think that's the date okay. So December 19th, 6:30 p.m. Third Thursday instead of the fourth Thursday. All right, we are going into executive session and we will see you all next month. Then you have to start the virtual count.
Well, I didn't. It's already started. It should show up there.
Was that recorded?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It puts it on this,
Okay.
on the team.
All right, it is 7:29 p.m. on Thursday, November 7th, and we are back in general session. And do I have a motion to adjourn with our next meeting being December 19th at 6:30 p.m.?
I make a motion, we adjourn, and we come back for our next meeting on December 19th.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.